Hey guys, this is Dinosaur Drawer, and this is the second part on how to draw the Machimosaurus. And we're gonna focus a little bit on shading this crocodile, which is gonna be hard because of the pose that it's in, and I still want these legs, well, this leg and this forearm to be visible, so it's gonna be a challenge for me. And let's say I hope that it will turn out alright. And I believe, if I am not wrong, that his nose is not over there at all. Or it might actually, I am not sure. Let's wait, I'm just gonna take a quick look. Alright, okay, so his nose would be about over here. Kind of separated from the other nostril. So yeah, it's gonna be a challenge. I'm just gonna try something. So what I'm gonna do is first I'm gonna darken in a lot of this area over here, but I don't want it to be too dark. I do want to give it a little bit of a three-dimensional look. That's why I am doing the shadow in this particular way. So I'm keeping a couple of highlights there. And I want these scales to be colored very dark at the bottom of them. But I want to leave the top as light as I can. And as well over here. So that I can kind of get this shadow over here to go up a little higher without interfering too much with the big scales. And I want to have a little bit of a cast shadow underneath those scales as well, which will be slightly lighter than the scales themselves. Darkening this line at some particular areas. Alright. So I'm basically building up a little bit of a shadow and getting the tone of the drawing darker and darker. I want to have a lot of shadow underneath this area as well. So basically what's happening now is I'm trying to give this drawing a little bit more of a cartoonish vibe to it, but I still want it to kind of look realistic. And I also want this to be better attached to each other, so you can kind of see where it separates from the rest of his body. And let's say at the bottom area these scales are very dark. But they stay light at the top, so you keep having that highlight. So now for his leg, you want to keep that highlight over there. So we're just gonna make a little bit of shadow over here, and then maybe a muscle, not too much of a muscle going on, but just a little bit of it. And we can make a couple of those scales a little darker at some areas. And his knee should be darkened as well. So at this moment his leg just looks a little messy. But like I said, it's more like an experimental thing for me. And of course, maybe we can all learn something from it as we go along. So I want this area to be very dark. Very, very dark. And then just a little bit of those lines coming from the shadow underneath, because this is actually an area where the sun would have a little bit of trouble to shine through. So it would be logical that that area would be a little bit darker. And of course those scales again as well. But we do want to keep the highlight like so. And as well on this leg we also want to have a lot of highlight, so I'm just going to be drawing a little bit of shadow over here. And for his elbow a little bit, but that's just going to be about it. Not gonna touch that too much anymore. Let's see. His bottom jaw should have a little bit more shadow. So that's actually what I was expecting early on, so that's why I drew those lines in early on. And this is actually pretty much attached to his bottom jaw, so there's gonna be a lot of shadow over here as well, and over here as well. And just make sure you fade the shadow in with the light, with the lighter areas. Something like that should be fine. This area could be a little darker, and the area inside of his mouth should be a lot darker as well, definitely. because there is no sunlight at all at that area. So this is absolutely fine the way that it looks right now. So now for his eye area, we want to create a little bit of shadow underneath his eye. And this shadow kind of goes on until like over there. And then it just kind of changes into a lighter shade. And over here we have a lot of shadow down there. And then we kind of go up with those lines, kind of fading the shadow in with the lighter area. Okay, so now over here we need a little shadow as well. And over here as well. And I'm really sorry that my camera is shaking again, so you probably didn't see a lot of what was going on. And I believe it should be more stable now. Yeah, it should be more stable now. No, it still shakes. Yeah, I'm really sorry for that fact. Can't change it for right now. And yeah, I'm sorry about that. So you probably did see me draw in a lot of dark areas, but it would have been hard for you guys to see like the whole first part of the video, which is actually kind of a shame. So again, those big scales will be very dark at the bottom, but at the upper area they will have a lot of highlight in it. It'll be very dark down there, extremely dark even. And then we just have a lot of wrinkly skin, but it is still in the shadowed area. So stay aware of that. And over here as well, but make the area a little bit smaller where you put in the shadow. Make the lines a little thinner. As for over here, you just make them very dark. A lot of wrinkles over there. And it's going to be very dark over here as well. Just make sure you have the same shade at certain areas. So now for this arm we would have a little shadow down here. And a lot of shadow down here, going down into his fingers. We would have very much shadow like this. And of course the shadow for his elbow over here. He would have a couple of wrinkles over there as well. That's basically what you're seeing now. And of course the little claws on the end of his little feet, little hands actually, and a couple of scales. So now we still have to do this area, and there's gonna be a lot of highlights at this area, but still just a tiny little bit of shadow down there. And a lot of shadow over here, because these are more like facing outwards. And we have also a couple of those scales up here. And just draw them in like this. Could be a little bit more shadow over here. And then we have a little bit of shadow between those plates, basically, but just on one side, and that's gonna be this side. And let's just also finish up the detail on his tail. And then just make those lines go up. Like this. And that makes us about done. So I am pretty happy the way it turned out. It looks pretty nice, and I can see improvement in my ability to draw dinosaurs and creatures at different poses. And I believe that's because I found a way to do the shadow more realistic, I'm just erasing the lines, the messy lines that I made at the start of the drawing. Because those lines kind of appeal a little bit. Okay, and I already smeared something. So let's get my autograph without smearing. Name of the creature, dinosaur, whatever. And maybe put in what year it is. That might be handy as well. Because I used to put the year in on every drawing that I did until I started doing tutorials on YouTube, and I kind of find it interesting to see how good I have become in comparison with how good I am right now within a couple of years. So it's kind of funny to compare the drawings sometimes. But yeah, if you liked this video, leave a like, comment below what you think about the drawing and the video in general, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss a single video. So this was Dinosaur Drawer, and goodbye.